Hey everyone, it's me Triton, and today's video is going to serve as a quick news summary, and in the second half of the video, I'm going to go through some general issues in the game that I'd like to see fixed in the next client patch. But let's start with some news. Earlier today, new community manager Ben Walk posted on Twitter, the forums, and Reddit that the Leia Organa Hoth Skin challenge will be coming back this weekend, starting tomorrow. The 3-time challenges necessary to unlock the skin this time are by far the easiest to date. You'll need to accumulate 25,000 battle points, defeat 10 enemies in a vehicle, and lastly, defeat 10 enemies in Galactic Assault. Honestly, the last two can be done in one game of Starfighter Assault and one game of Galactic Assault, and if you're really good, then you may only need those 2 games to complete the first challenge. If not, you'll likely unlock this in about 5 games or so. Now, for those of you who unlocked the skin 2 weekends ago, you'll receive credits for completing these challenges now, which you'll be able to put towards new skins once they become available later this month, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. It's nice to see that EA DICE acknowledge how cumbersome the Jetpack Cargo challenge was during the original weekend that the challenge first became available. There hasn't been any word on whether or not they'll bring back the challenges for Luke's or Han's Hoth Skin, but at least it seems like they'd be open to reissuing challenges for them in the future. Moving on to issues in the game that I'd like to see fixed. Sitting at the top of my list is the level 50 trophy that is still bugged. I know this began being reported after the 1.2 client patch and it's affected players on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. As a trophy hunter, it's really upsetting that this hasn't been fixed, and there are numerous theories as to why. The one I subscribe to the most is that the 1.2 client patch adjusted level progression so that moving from level 0 to 1 didn't count towards a total, so when you reach level 50, the new logic believes that you've only reached level 49. I do have some doubts about this theory because I don't remember there being any mention of fixes or updates in the 1.2 client patch that were meant to pave the way for the eventual 2.0 client patch, which brought about the player progression update. Although it could have been one of those things done behind the scenes that wasn't noted, as is the case with nearly every client patch so far this year. However, I would have guessed this issue would have started once the new player progression update went live and not beforehand. As it stands, it seems players that have reached level 50 since the 2.0 client patch are getting the trophy. The easiest fix to this issue may be raising the level cap, so that if it's indeed a calculation issue, reaching level 51 in the game will trigger level 50 in the logic and the trophy would then pop. The next thing I want to talk about is less of a bug and more of a systemic issue within the game, particularly the matchmaking in the game or the lack thereof. For starters, it doesn't seem like the game tries to match groups of players versus other groups of players, especially in Galactic Assault and Heroes vs. Villains. I understand that being in a group doesn't guarantee you'll do better than a team of all individuals, but groups will have the ability to verbally communicate where enemies are located and coordinate taking over or holding objectives in Galactic Assault. In Heroes vs. Villains, groups can ensure that they always are close together and discuss how to best utilize the abilities of their characters and when they should use them. For clarity purposes, when I say groups in Galactic Assault, I am talking about teams of 4 to 6 players, but for Heroes vs. Villains, even groups of 2 have a pretty distinct advantage when playing against all individuals. While there may be some matchmaking logic in place that does factor in group size, there is absolutely no rebalancing of teams between matches. Now, I play my fair share of close games, but there are plenty of times when my team is either steamrolling or getting steamrolled. Between rounds, half the players on the losing side will leave the lobby, while the entire winning team stays intact, and that's pretty logical. If you're really unfortunate, you'll enter the game late to replace someone who didn't bother to stick around for the credits, and you'll end up getting put down by heroes over and over again until the round ends. That's a whole issue in and of itself, but the lack of team rebalancing certainly contributes to that. I just find it hard to believe that there are so few games going on at the same time within the same server that 2 teams that won decidedly can't be matched with each other after a game. Or how about something simpler? Divide the top 10 players evenly based on score between rounds. Now, I realize there are some issues with both of those suggestions, as it could lead to a redundancy in maps played, or in the second example, you may end up playing on the light side or dark side twice in a row. Still, in Galactic Assault, where it's 20 versus 20, you'd think things would even out a little more given the sheer amount of players, but it just doesn't play out that way consistently enough. Rebalancing alone may not change the one-sided nature of some games, but it would at least help in my opinion. But that's it for this video. Thanks for checking it out and supporting the channel. If you've been enjoying my Battlefront 2 content, then please subscribe, as I'll be bringing you more news and original content on a weekly basis. You can always interact with me on Twitter at TritonPlz and catch me streaming Battlefront 2 on Twitch as well. But until the next time everyone, may the Force be with you.